Hey everyone, Yoko here, and welcome to Yoko Plays. Today we are trying a new game that I am very excited about, Sonic Mania. This game, it's good. It's good. I'm just gonna start with that. I like this game. It just came out this last Tuesday. If you're watching this live, this is a Thursday upload this week because I've been a little distracted by Sonic Mania. You know, these things happen. It's fine. Sonic Mania is the Sonic 4 that we deserved. You can play as Sonic and Tails, you can play as Knuckles, just Tails, just Sonic. I'm going with the traditional duo. And right off the bat, this might sound a little familiar. That's right, that's Angel Island from Sonic 3. But wait, things aren't quite normal. There are these guys, and just, oh, that artwork, the sprites, it's all so good. It looks so good. The animation's so good. The common theme of this playthrough is going to be, I love this game. Guys, I've been waiting for this game since like 1994 when Sonic and Knuckles came out. I think that came out in 94. So, because they pulled this time stone thing, we've been transported to Green Hill Zone. And off we go in a very familiar setting with some very unfamiliar differences. If you look on the top left on the time, you have the seconds and the milliseconds ticking like in Sonic CD. The invincibility music is different, specifically for this game, and the normal music is a remix of the original Green Hill Zone theme. Obviously I'm controlling Sonic and I have Tails with me. If you have 25 rings and you hit one of those goalposts, boom, you get to play a special stage. And the special stages, more like bonus stage, they are from Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, kind of. The blue sphere, gotta catch 'em all kind of thing. This is a traditional Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles minigame. In Sonic 3 you had to go through 7 rounds of it, and in Sonic and Knuckles you had 7 other rounds of it. This game has significantly more of them. This playthrough, we are not going to do all of these, because we'd be here forever. And I have a different file on this from where I've been playing just on my own, testing out the game and loving it. And it seems like the game pulls from all of your files to keep on track of what you've done and what you haven't. So, since there's more than 7, you're probably wondering, what's the point? Why? Why are there more than 7? There's only 7 Chaos Emeralds. What's the point, Yoko? What's going on? What's the point? Calm down, Jadence. I don't know if your name is Jadence, but calm down, because it's okay. What happens is, depending on your progress in these stages, you get a silver or a gold medal. You get a silver medal for collecting all the blue spheres, and a gold medal for collecting all the blue spheres and getting every single ring, which is a little bit harder. So you want to get a perfect clear for a gold, which is what I'm going for here. Now, that may not happen every time, and I think if it doesn't happen, you get the opportunity to do it again when it cycles back around. This also is not the special stage you will play on your first playthrough. On your first playthrough, you will play the special stage from Sonic 3, the very first one. That's right, the ones from Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles are in the mix, at least all the ones I can remember are. But there's also original ones like this, which I don't remember from either game, but maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know if they took these from Blue Spheres, which is where you put Sonic 1 on top of Sonic and Knuckles, or if they took them from something else. Now, I skipped that last one because I'm still missing 6 rings. But it can be kind of hard to find, and I've closed off a lot of paths, so it's a little dangerous. So not to prolong this for too long, I decided that, you know what, we're just going to take the blue sphere and get out of here. Now, I am going to do these this part, and occasionally I'll show one of these off. But I'm not going to do it every time I see them on the goalposts, because we'll be here forever. These take like 3 or 4 minutes a piece, and we'd be here forever. Now, you may have just noticed right there, I just used Tails to make me fly, even though I'm controlling Sonic. You can manipulate Tails in this game. If you do a double jump, Tails will start to fly, just like you're controlling him normally in Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Well, if you jump into his arms as Sonic, he gets to carry you. It's really cool. Speaking of cool, the shields from Sonic 3 make their return. Right now I'm using the lightning shield, which attracts rings, and I just skipped the bubble shield, or water shield, whichever you want to call it, which lets you breathe indefinitely underwater and gives you a bounce. The fire shield is also around somewhere, and it lets you shoot off in a flame of glory. And there's also the shield from Sonic 2, which doesn't have any special abilities. Lightning Shield is best shield, of course. 100 rings is still an extra life, and it gives you the Sonic 3. I think that's Sonic 3's jingle, which is great. I'm fine with that. And you may have also noticed this doesn't look like Green Hill Zone anymore. Well, there are remixed zones in this game. It started out traditional, just like Green Hill always does, but it quickly became something else. Speaking of something else, there's a fire shield. So even though something may say Green Hill Zone, it's not going to be the Green Hill Zone you necessarily remember, which I think is a great touch and really keeps things fresh. Because I'm in Green Hill Zone right now, but that doesn't mean I know where I'm going or what I'm doing. Speaking of not knowing what I'm doing, it's really hard to manipulate Tails whenever you have the fire shield on, because you like to dash away from him. So that's what all that was about. Now, if you notice, we're about 6 minutes into this part right now, but the time on the stage is only a little over 2 minutes. Intro stuff aside, it also has to do with the Blue Sphere game, which we are going into another one now so I can show it off again. So right now what you're seeing are ones that I have not perfected on my other playthrough. It's interesting to me that they carry through, and there's actually something on the menu where you can check your overall progress on these. I don't know how many there are. There are a lot. My guess is somewhere between 30 and 40, but I don't have anything to back that up. Feel free to Google it. I am not Googling anything about this game until I beat it. And I have not, at the time of this recording, finished my playthrough. Now, between parts, of course, I'm going to be playing this on my own, so for the bulk of this playthrough, I will have finished this game at least once. We're just not quite there. Speaking of not quite there, I don't want to jump out on that one, because we are speeding up a little bit more, and I don't want to hit those red ones. If you've never played Sonic 3 or Sonic & Knuckles, if you hit the red sphere, can't talk, if you hit the red sphere, you're out. The yellow ones that I'm avoiding right now are springs, which I don't want to do right now because I am in more control by not doing it at the moment. If you make an outline, if you have a block of 9, for instance, blue spheres, and you make an outline of them, they turn into rings. Those have a little bouncy thing in the middle. Also, I got very lucky there with my jumps. I should not have made that, honestly. So there, I made this outline of red, so rings. Got all those, and I accidentally went one over. The Blue Sphere game gets faster and faster as time goes on until it hits a maximum speed, which I believe is a tier faster than Sonic 3. So I'm still getting used to it. And again, you're probably wondering, hey, where are the Chaos Emeralds? You know, the things that you collect, the MacGuffins, where are they? You'll find out soon enough. But for now, in traditional classic Sonic fashion, such as Sonic 3, you get a mini-boss. This mini-boss I'm just kind of blazing through with my invincibility star, although now that it's worn off, I'm taking some damage. When Sonic gets hit, you might have noticed giant rings and small rings. We'll get into that in a later part, but you can collect giant rings, and they give you 15 rings each giant ring, I think. I have had a time before where I've lost over 100 rings and got them all back, and it actually gave me another extra life for getting 100 rings, so you cannot manipulate that, though. It's hard to do. We'll get into it later on. At the end of the first act, we had the signpost fall down, which was really cool. Speaking of really cool, I love that little thing I just did. Not gonna lie, I could say that I'm the best Sonic player ever, but it was total luck. Speaking of total luck, that Rotobug just went way down, and so did I. Oh, these things happen. As with typical Sonic games, there are pathways to take. The top path is usually easier and has the most rewards, while the harder path is down at the bottom. It's a little more strenuous, you can't go quite as fast. Speed, of course, being a reward in itself. See all these spikes and stuff? That's a little bit harder to get through. The animation is just so nice. Everything is so fluid in this game. Speaking of things, I don't have a segue for that. This is a pain in the butt. It's a Blue Sphere game. Some of these are harder than others. The ones you guys are seeing in this playthrough are a little bit harder because I've already done a lot of the easier ones. I got them on my first try. They do kind of wean you into it, but some of these are very hard, like this one I find very difficult. I don't know if this was one from Sonic & Knuckles. It might have been. I don't remember, to be honest. The thing I thought was interesting is that even though I'm doing a playthrough of Sonic with Tails, Sonic's the only one here. Tails didn't join me in this. In Sonic 3, that wasn't the case. Tails was always with you, so I just thought that was an interesting change. I'm not sure why they did it, but hey, they made a pretty good game as far as I'm concerned, so I won't complain too much. I will complain some. Gotta be objective. So here I have all the rings again, which doesn't mean anything if I don't get all the blue spheres. And we just sped up again. Now, unfortunately, I don't quite know the pattern for this place, so I died. I think it boils down to me starting in the wrong direction. I should have gone a different way. I'm not sure. I really don't know yet. Like, look at that. Sonic's kind of waggling as Tails pulls him up. Like, it's just the little details like that. I love that. It's so nice. I believe that the music for Act 2 right now is actually different from the music from Act 1. They're pretty good about that generally, giving you different music for different acts. I really like that. Oh, I'm trying to get Tails right here to get across safely. I couldn't even remember what I was doing, and I just got this footage like a half hour ago, as of the time of this recording. It's also worth checking everywhere because of the aforementioned special stages for the Chaos Emeralds. They're hard to find. That's right, you do not get them at the end of the act for collecting 50 rings like in some of the other games. You do not get them from the goalposts either. There is a very specific way to get them that you will be seeing very shortly. If I can get up these springs. There we go. Also, Tails is somewhere freaking out and I don't know why. Dead end. Go back over the other way. Tails, lift me up. It's always a little nerve-wracking going up because you do have these flying enemies. I forget their names. That guy that just hit me. You do have them around, and they can shoot down at you, and I have been hit from off-screen by those while I'm flying up. Like, look at this! Crab meat's right on top of there. And thanks to that, I didn't have enough rings to get into a blue sphere stage again. Bounce up with him. There also is the drop dash. I'm doing it in bits and places here. The drop dash, when you're up in the air, you hold the jump button, and he starts to get his spin boost in the air. Really cool addition to the game. Wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it beforehand, but I like it a lot. If you really gotta go fast, which, you know, you're playing Sonic. You want to go fast. Come on. That's the best way to do it. That or the normal speed dash, the Sonic spin dash, whatever you want to call it. You have options in this game, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. If you want to go fast, you've got plenty of ways here to go fast. It's up to you what technique you want to use. Speaking of techniques, there are unlockable techniques. I don't have a lot of them yet, and for this playthrough, right now at least, I'm not using them. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'll come back to that in a moment, because now is a special stage. Just like in Sonic 3, you find the ring, you jump in it. Special stage, which reminds me a lot of either Sonic 3D Blast or Sonic CD, where you're hunting down UFOs. You have blue spheres to collect here too, but here they increase your Mach speed. If you look at the top, you have a blue bar and Mach 1, and as I collect these, the blue bar is increasing. You also have a timer ticking down. If you get rings, 1 ring is 1 second. You need enough time, and you need enough speed to catch that UFO, which has the Chaos Emerald. The UFO goes in a set pattern, so I want to say it's pretty easy to catch it, but honestly, it can be very hard later on. This first stage is cake, but on my first playthrough, I did mess up, and I didn't get it my first time because I didn't quite understand the rules. Luckily, you have me explaining them to you, so hey, you know, don't say I never did anything for you. Grab some of these rings this time, because time is a valuable thing. There's a Linkin Park reference there. We're not going to get into that right now. I have 50 seconds. I've hit Mach 3, which is your fastest Mach speed you can go. It's signified by the spheres changing colors. If you then increase your gauge again, you get a tiny little speed boost for a couple of seconds. It can be pretty helpful, but not necessary in this case. When you get close enough, you automatically spin dash at it, and you take the emerald. 1 out of 7. We have 6 more to go. Will we get them in this playthrough? I don't really know, because they're hard, and I don't have them all in my main playthrough yet. I'm going to try my best to make this playthrough an all-emerald playthrough, though, but no promises. Okay, so this should be an easy boss, right? Nope, it's the final boss from Sonic 2. I couldn't believe this when I saw it. He opens with the final boss from Sonic 2. Just outright. I figured this would be an easy cakewalk battle, It's not as hard as Sonic 2 was, to be fair. You have rings, and thanks to the fluid animation, I feel like he's a little easier to hit, ignoring that I just got hit right there. And again, but at some point you just kind of stop caring. I hit him 4 or 5 times, I'm not sure which, and I end the stage. You release the animals from their capsule, a la Sonic 3 style right there. You get this fancy little animation for completing the level. And just like with Sonic 3, and I love this so much, there are stage transitions. Yeah, Sonic just jumped into a pit, I know. And we get this fancy little transition where he's bawling out these guys. Stole one of the time gems, time stones, whatever they're called. And we are going off to our next zone for the next part. So I will see you guys in Chemical Plant Zone for the next part. Till then, see you all later. Bye.